Hey guys, it's the Tankmaster here. Welcome back to another video, and today in this video I am going to be showcasing the Arma 3 expansion mod, Police, by Jakes. Now that will be in a link in the description if you like what you see. So to start off, before I show you the mod, I obviously have to show you what police there already is in the game. So here are all the police vehicles and men in the game. Now, on we're on Stratus. On Stratus, they are Gendarmerie, and in fact, in Arma, they are Gendarmerie, which is German police, I believe, for some reason. So here we have a simple van, transport van, nothing special here. It's got space in the back for cargo. Yeah, you can't go anywhere else. However, you can't even look behind you, which is a shame. But there is space for cargo in here. And then we have a transport version, which obviously is different. We have, I believe, 4 men can sit in the back, and then obviously a man can sit in every seat. So that puts it up to around 10 people that can sit in this vehicle. Hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 14. 14 people can sit in this vehicle and be driven around by a driver. Altogether, they're not the quickest vehicles, obviously, because they're vans. However, the models are quite nice. Moving on, we have the off-road series, which again, this is still the main game. We have the the off-road covered version. We have the off-road communications version, and the regular off-road police car. Now, something I quite like about this is if we get in, we can... But wait for this. It has sirens! Sadly the lights don't work on it or anything, but it has sirens, so that means that it's amazing. I can't actually get in these two because I don't have the contact DLC. But I would believe they have a similar siren system. Anyway, moving on to the men. Honestly, these are the 2 men you get. They can obviously change in skin colour and face. However, simply, they have... This is the commander, with an MP5K, a level 2 body armour and beret, and here is the regular soldier, with an MP5K, body armour, level 2, and a cap. And that's it. That's all you get. So if we take the off-road, we can go ahead and go to the mod class. This is what... Hold on. I'm going to reverse so you can get a sound for the engine. So that is what it sounds like. However, now we move on to the expansion mod Police by Jakes, which again will be a link in the description. So to start off, we have a BMW M5. It's a very nice car. Got to say, the models have been very well done and they've gone into the game very nicely. So we'll get into this. There it is. Sadly, it has a horn instead of siren, and I have so far seen no way of making the siren go. But this vehicle can carry 5 men, I believe? No, 4 men only. And this is the driving compartment, which is actually very nicely modelled. So as you can see, as the engine goes on and off, that appears and disappears. We have options on the screen which we cannot select, sadly. Apparently it is 1326 in the game, which it isn't. It is 1522. But hey-ho, we have a laptop. Slightly what looks like to be entering the passenger's leg. And then we have space for 2 criminals in the back. So very nice model. This is actually highway. These 2 vehicles here are highway patrol. And we'll move on to that. So in game you can go 244 kilometers an hour by pressing W in this car. Or if you hold shift as well, you can go up to a massive 304 kilometers an hour. 150 miles an hour or 190 miles per hour, which is what they translate to. Now in real life, this costs 26,000 quid, or $31,000. Sorry, and it comes with a 4.4 litre V8 engine, which produces 560 horsepower. Now, if you ask me, that's a lot of horsepower. It also comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox, which is very nice. Right, I'll let you listen to the sound. Now, if you didn't tell, the acceleration is extremely quick compared to the other vehicles in the game already, and its horn is very loud compared to everything else. Moving on, we have the BMW X6 here. Again, the models in this mod are beautiful, absolutely amazing. So far I couldn't tell anything was wrong with the car design in the game. Exactly the same as it should be in real life. I would also like to point out how these are based off of American vehicles. So you would never see anything with this type of design on it anywhere else apart from America. But I mean, I guess that is a way of a good thing to base off your police force on. We have, so the BMW X6 goes 272 kilometers an hour in game, and it does not have a working shift button, so you can't make it go faster by holding shift, which is about 170 miles an hour. And in real life, it can cost 27,000 quid or $33,000, which quite a lot, although this is a very fancy car and it's a BMW. So again, if you start up the engine, you get the lights on the dashboard, and you have your laptop over there. Can carry 5 men in the back, no, 3 men in the back, and obviously you and a friend. So has exactly the same engine noise as a BMW M5 and exactly the same acceleration. This car in real life comes with a 4.4 litre V8 producing 445 horsepower with a 8-speed automatic gearbox. And I believe you may be able to see you can see the paddle shifters on the steering wheel. So let's try not to hit any of our fellow men. Now in my research, this is the undercover variant of it, or the unmarked variant they say. You can see the lights up there, which are also on this one. However, it does not have any of the add-ons to indicate that it is a police vehicle. The interior, exactly the same apart from the mesh cover, and it has no laptop there. Sounds the same as well. Has a extremely loud horn, which is deafened because I was in the interior of it. But yeah, so that is the highway selection of vehicles. Highway patrol right there. Now moving on to the marked vehicles, or the urban patrol vehicles. Now here we have the good old Ford Crown Victoria, sorry. This vehicle, again, really nice model. Although, really nice model. Again, no defects I can find on it. based off the American design like all of these are. And I'll have some facts. It can go 272 kilometers an hour in game, same as the X6, which is equivalent to 170 miles an hour. However, this is remarkably cheaper at £6,000 or $7,000. It has a 4.6 litre V8 producing 239 horsepower and a 4-speed automatic gearbox. And if we hop in the interior, it can carry 3 men in the back on the bench seat and 2 men in front. Now the interior is much less nice. Well, that's not the word, but it's more basic compared to the X6 and S5, and the laptop means that you can see behind you and in front of you. It's a bit terrible because it's very delayed. However, at least you have that added bonus. Obviously Ford there, you've got everything that a car would have. You've got the rear view mirror, which is pretty much useless because there's a mesh cover in the way. And yeah. So again, nicely moulded, although a bit soft on the detail compared to the other models. But altogether, it's a very nice car. Moving on, we have the Ford Explorer here. Now, this car in-game can go 244 kilometers an hour, which equates to 150 miles an hour. And it is 16,000 quid or $19,000. It has a 3.5 litre V6 producing 365 horsepower with a 6-speed automatic gearbox. And it can carry 3 men in the back, 2 men up front. Again, it's pretty basic to the... It's pretty similar to the Ford Crown Victoria's interior. Has a laptop there, although it's got buttons down there, which say it's 12 o'clock. Evidently. Again, horns loud. The speedo works, as in all of these vehicles, so I only have to show that once. And it does have a undercover variant, unlike the Ford Crown Victoria. So again, there's not usually much difference, although this one does have a laptop on it, and it still says it's 12 o'clock. So interior details are a bit soft. For example, there's not really anything on the doors. Dashboard looks nice though. Oh, you still have mesh covers. That's strange. I thought that this one wouldn't have mesh covers or a laptop either. Still has CCTV as well. You need to CCTV like that on their car though. Like, if we're being honest. Anyway, moving on, we go to the Ford F-150 Raptor. Now, in-game, this car can go to 227 kilometers an hour, which is equivalent to 141 miles per hour. Or, if you hold down shift, it can go upwards of 300 kilometers an hour. Now, the reason I say upwards is because it's got such a slow acceleration, I couldn't get it to its full speed, because by the time I did, well, I would have had to have a much longer runway for it to obviously go as fast as it can, which it didn't, sadly. It can carry 7 men, including 2 in the back, 3 in this cab, and 2 up front. Beautiful car, I've got to say. Like, just, if that rolled up and you were committing a crime, you would say, oh, I give up. I can't do anything against that. It costs, in real life, £25,000 or £32,000. No, dollars, I mean, sorry. And it has a 5 litre V8 with 385 horsepower and a 6-speed automatic gearbox. Now, you can see the automatic gearbox there. It has working laptop, which means that you can see forward and backwards. It has mesh cover, obviously, and I'm pretty sure most vehicles do have that mesh cover because you don't want the criminals seeing you or getting close to you. So now you can see this is what the door insides look nicely. You even got that window presser which locks the windows. So I'll just give you a minute to have a look at that. Looks nice. The speedos work, obviously. And again, the vehicles are pretty much exactly the same to their Undercover variants. Again, mesh cover, you've got a CCTV camera there, laptop and everything, but not much news to report here. Moving on, we have the GMC Savana. This is a big man van. GMC right up front. Not much to say about this. 13,000 quid or $16,000. In game, it can go up to 157 kilometers an hour by pressing W. That's 97 miles an hour, or 223 by pressing shift as well. That's 138 miles an hour. It can carry 8 men, 2 in the front here and 3 on each bench. There's another bench which you can't see, however, 3 on that bench and 3 on the one behind me. Again, it has a laptop, not much new to report in the interior here. It's a little less crowded compared to the other vehicles. This vehicle has a 6-litre V8 producing 329 horsepower with a 6-speed automatic. And the laptop actually covers the gear shifter, weirdly enough. Unless that big stick is a gear shifter, because American cars are weird. Detail is nice on the interior, although that mirror isn't very good. Low poly. But anyway, gotta flip over my piece of paper. Moving on, we have the Ford Taurus, if I'm saying that correctly. Now, again, the models of all these cars are absolutely stunning. They've done very well on modelling these cars. Or Jake's has at least. In game, it can do 272 kilometers an hour or 170 miles an hour. In real life, it costs 9,000 quid or $11,000. It can carry 5 men, 3 in the back and 2 in the front. Has a 3.5 litre V6 producing 288 horsepower and a 6-speed automatic gearbox, which is not there. Oh, where is it? Still 12 o'clock though. Laptop does not work, sadly. Although this one does have a different engine sound. So I'll let you listen to that. And obviously it still has a really loud horn. So, yes, very nice sound. Got to admit, it really does. Exactly the same on the Undercover variants, with the laptop and everything. Oops, pressed W by accident. Low power wind mirrors, and lots of space, I've got to admit. Oh, it is now seatbelts. Didn't notice that before. Don't think that's on any other vehicle. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong there. None of the cameras work or anything, sadly, so that's something that he's hopefully going to improve on. But anyway, let's move on to the ones I've been looking for. The SWAT vehicles. So to start off with, we have a Ford F550 utility. Now in game, it can go 156 kilometers an hour or 195 kilometers an hour, depending on W and shift, which is 96 miles an hour or 121 miles an hour. It costs 25,000 quid or $32,000, and it has a 6.8 litre V10 producing 362 horsepower with a 5-speed 5-speed automatic gearbox. Now this one also has a new sound, so I'll let you listen to that. So again, not the fastest vehicle, not the slowest either. You can definitely report to a swatting quickly with this. Now, I've tried my best, I really have, but I can't find anything on this brace here. I really can't, and as much as I would love to, I can't. There just isn't any information on it. You can carry 3 men in the back, as well as 2 men in the front, and that's pretty much it, sadly, about it. I really wish there was more detail that I could find on it. Anyway, moving on. Some of you may recognise this. This is the Insurgent. Now, it comes from GTA 5. The person who made the mod copied it over from there, although apparently the GTA 5 version was copied from the Pterodyne Gurkha, which is a Canadian vehicle, weirdly enough. Who would need an armoured car in Canada? In the game, it can go 183 kilometers an hour, or 113 miles an hour. It can carry 8 men, and, wait, you guys ready for this? It cost £270,000, or $330,000. Now that's a hell of a lot money for a car. It has a 6.7 litre V8, producing 330 horsepower, and a 6-speed automatic. Doesn't have a different engine sound, and the interior is pretty bare. I mean, yeah, you've got all these switches, but look, not really anything to be like, oh, I want this. Seatbelt still, gotta have that safety, although our character never wears them. We have good textured doors, lots of switches, although you can't actually read what they say, sadly. And yeah, so 2 men here, 2 men there, and 4 men in the back. Try to get into it. I can show you the back. No, I can't because it doesn't let me see, although it's very bare in there. So now, all that we have to do is look at the civilian vehicle, which is again a Ford Taurus, exactly the same as that vehicle over there, apart from the fact that it only goes 222 kilometers an hour, which is 137 miles an hour, and costs about the same, 25,000 quid or $32,000. Has a 2 litre 4-cylinder 240 horsepower engine with a 6-speed automatic gearbox. So obviously you're getting on the fancy stuff. You can actually use the rearview mirror. It's got that nice engine sound that the Taurus has, which is not fitting of a 4-cylinder. Crisp interior, which looks nice, although sadly the rearview mirror, no, not the rearview mirror, that's the rearview mirror up there. The camera screen for the front and rear bumper does not work, but hey, we can forgive them for that. Now onto the boring part, what the men have. So here, these 5 men are part of the regular police force. This guy here, he is the captain. He has level armor 2 vest and a beret, and that's all he gets. So he obviously gets shoes and a shirt and stuff, and hella good aviation glasses, but he doesn't get much, so we best to move on to the corporal. Now doesn't that look nice? He has a utility belt, which gives him no armor, a cap, obviously there, an M4 shotgun with a 12 gauge buckshot, and if we look here, That's a Rook 40 pistol, which fires 9mm and comes with a 17 round magazine. So altogether he hasn't got the most armour, but we'll get to the armoured guys soon. But he can surely do some damage with his shotgun. Now here we have the officer, the police officer. He has a utility belt like the corporal, a cap, and a P90, which is a 5.7mm round with 50 rounds in a magazine, and it's a submachine gun. So he also has a Rook 40, which is 9mm, 17 round magazine, pistol. So he is more of the short spaceman, so he will go round corners sharply with that red dot sight up there. Do you see that? Yes. So he is not like the corporal in a lot of ways, which makes absolutely no sense. Then we have the rookie with a utility belt, which gives no armour, a cap, and a Rook 40. And that's it. So then we move on to the best one, the police sergeant. Now the police sergeant sadly only gets a utility belt, which gives no armour, and a cap. However, he does get an SPAR 16, which fires 5.56mm, with a 30 round magazine, and it's an assault rifle. He also has a Rook. Now, such a nice weapon. I would take off him, but if I shoot him I'll get shot by all these other guys. So I will find a way to test that for you shortly. Actually, no, you know what? I can just go into Zeus and give it a few tests. Oh, I guess I'll see you later. So, sounds very nice as well. Now I would do full auto for you guys, but that'll make us deaf. So, moving on. Where have I gone? Hello? I've disappeared. He got into the Ford Taurus. What's wrong with him? Alright, let's get back as him now. So, moving on, if I just flip it with my handy dandy piece of paper, we have the detective police. Now, they are all pretty much the same. This one's Detective 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, this guy, although he looks like he has a vest, it does absolutely nothing. It's just there for looks. So these two have utility belts, which gives 0 armor, obviously. He has a cap, and they both have rooks. In fact, all of these men have rooks, although this one is special. He has a leg strap bag and a hat, because, you know, when you're fighting those men, you gotta look snazzy in your hat. Then we go to the last guy. These all have Rook 40s, sadly. It'd be nice if they give some different guns for you to try out, but they don't. So, yeah, exactly the same, apart from what their headwear is and their clothes, obviously. Now, moving on, the heavy hitters, the SWAT team. Now, who is not intimidated by these? We have the Breacher. We have the Grenadier. We have the Marksman. And the Officer. So, let's start off with the Breacher. And in fact, I feel that we may have to shoot him. But we can't do that yet, otherwise I'll get lit up. So, he comes with a SWAT combat vest, which, lucky for him, is explosive resistance. A SWAT modular helmet, light, and it has armor level 3. A black balaclava, because you gotta hide your face when you're swatting people. An M4 shotgun, similar to the corporal there, as well as a 4.5, which is a .45 caliber, and it has a suppressor. Lucky fuck. You can see, I believe that's the case for the suppressor or something. And all of these men have smoke grenades. So actually they all have .45 caliber pistols. So I'll just gloss over that with suppressors. Next up we have the Grenadier. He also has a SWAT combat vest, however this one gives him armor level 3. He also has a SWAT modular helmet, which, can you notice the difference? This is this guy's SWAT modular helmet, and that guy's. This one has ear guards. Now, it doesn't do anything, it just means he gets armor 3 on his helmet, same as the Breacher. And he also has an SBR grenade launcher. So the SPR is the same as the Nope. Who has the... Oh, the Sergeant, sorry. He has the SPR-16, as well as this guy. But it also has a grenade launcher on it, because obviously he's the Grenadier. So, yes. Moving on, we have the SWAT Marksman. Now, he has a SWAT combat vest, same as the Grenadier, armor 3. A SWAT modular helmet, light, armor 3, which is the exact same as the Breachers. And he has an SBR-17, which fires 7.62mm and is a 20 round magazine. It's also a marksman rifle for, you know, those who care. And look at that scope. Now we're actually going to give this guy a test, because you've got to. So we'll line him up on the range, and we'll get to firing at those houses over there. I believe we can put in earplugs, yep. There we are. So, now that we've shown that, we can... Oh my god, he hasn't, has he? Where's he going? He's... disappeared? Where is he? There he is. Sorry, he was sort of hidden with the rest of the men. Right, so the last man in this DLC, no, this mod, is the officer. He has a utility belt with 0 armor, which means that he's the least armored of these men. And he has a SWAT modular helmet with the ear guards again, same armor level 3. He has a SPAR 16 with a 5.56mm round, and sadly that is it. They all have smoke grenades, and all of these men have some sort of medical equipment. Now this mod was supposed to include a helicopter, and I would have loved to show you guys the helicopter, but I can't seem to find the helicopter in the Zeus menu. So I don't know where it is. But anyway, let's do the firing test. Using a Mark 14 Mod 1 EBR. And let's fire the 2. Now, he's not dead. I would like to point out. He is not dead. He's just unconscious. Took 2 shots. 2 medium avulsions to the chest before he went down. Now, what is the head like? Oh, I guess. I am going to hide behind this truck, so you can see how much fire it can sustain. Sadly, he instantly died, which is really a shame. Oh, they're all looking at me. So let's try and hit them on the top of the helmet. Nope, instantly dead. Sadly, such a shame. Finish him off for good time's sake. So, there we are. Shooting match has begun. Get this shot. They really don't like me anymore. So, you're dead. Should be more men over there. 1, 2, 3. There we are. Although he was using a shotgun, so he's utterly useless. And last guy, the cat. Oh yeah, I forgot we also have men over here, don't we? Can I get him? Hold shift to steady your aim. I missed. Yeah, who cares? Right, I need to reload. So while I'm presumably going to get shot at, I'm going to fire shot at this vehicle, which is the most heavily armoured vehicle in the game. For the police force anyway. I'm also going to throw some grenades at it and get shot at. Now you can see, did absolutely nothing to it. Can you stop? One down. By the way, I do have potato aim. There we are. So as you can see, yeah, the tyres deflated a tiny bit, but apart from that, enough shots will destroy the tyres, and if you destroy a tyre, it makes the car practically indestructible. However, I'm not going to be able to do that. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to this end, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and follow my Instagram as well, which will be down in the link, and link in the description. And also, if you want to get this mod for your Arma free, I will also leave a link in the description to it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.